Hello everyone! In this video we will be painting the beets, beautiful vegetable, very vibrant colors, and I really love this quinacridine violet from Daniel Smith. Perfect color for the beets, but I will be adding different shades. So I was playing, just did some swatches here, and the vegetable is so great because it has complementary color. The actual vegetable is red violet, and the greenery on it is green yellow, and this is exactly what makes it really pop and makes it really beautiful. Okay, let's start with painting, and it will be semi-loose as I always do my paintings. And we're gonna do 2 beads. So I'm gonna use that violet, and I will mention in the description. So we're gonna just start loosely with the shape. So it's like a rounded shape, and the root is going down and pretty long. And we're gonna have another one right here overlapping. So I'm gonna do all drawing with my brush, a little bit wider, and the root, something like this. Okay, and let's start playing with wet on wet. So I'm wetting down paper, the circles I just did. And I'm gonna have a highlight at the top. And I'm even gonna lift it with my paper towel. And now let's drop in darker values. So just gonna start at the edge, and this side gonna be darker because the right one overlapping. So the bottom of the bead will be darker because we know it's in the shadow. Can do even wider. And I'm trying to keep it fun and loose, so I don't worry too much about shapes. With this, we're gonna fix later. That's just gonna be first wash. So I have a base, and now we'll be splattering with, this is alizarin crimson. Splatter, splatter. And dab of paper towel, just spread that red so we can see some. And I will splatter the cadmium red as well. Wash my brush, dab it off, and give that smear, smudging, so I can see on actual vegetable. And now we'll do a little bit outside of them. So I'll just use same colors and just splatter it. And what I like to do after splatters, I like to clean my brush, dab it off, and just smear, smudge around some of the droplets to make it interesting. And I will splatter the yellow, the greenish yellow that will be in our greenery. So I want to keep it a little bit looser, just touching the side of the bead and going into the background, and stop a little bit so I have a mixture. So let's go to the leaf part. So I'm using same color for now. Just gonna start painting the greenery. Some gonna be very thin or wavy. Some I see is straight. So some wavy, nice and loose and interesting. And right where they start, it's gonna be darker, so I will be just dropping indigo while it's still wet. So I'm just gonna be like really dark purple shade, and at the bottom of the bead it's gonna be darkest, and this side will be dark. Just gonna dab in around the whole vegetable. Can even go with opera rose and just splatter more of a brighter pink here. And we can do also the cadmium red. Beautiful. Now I can see those lighter red splatters on my purple. Can go even darker at the bottom and can start the loose greenery. I'm gonna clean this side to start mixing greens. And I'm using Phthalo turquoise. I really want that bright green color that the beets have. It's gonna be a mixture of bright and like toned down. So I have really bright now, and I will tone it down a little bit with burnt sienna. So beautiful greenish like grass color. Now we're gonna do the curves. The beets have beautiful leaves with curves. So I'm just gonna leave some white. Just use tip of my brush, keep it loose and fun. Okay, we're gonna do this side. Gonna add some curves. Just lightly touching paper with tip, then turning to the side. So the leaves are white at the top. And I want some brighter green and just vary the shade. So I added Phthalo turquoise. Just gonna dab in that turquoise color. That's pretty. Dab, dab, just with tip of the brush, dab in, and I will splatter that bright yellow lemon color right on top of the leaves and give a smudge. I love it. I love that loose. Very pretty. More testing here. So, and that smudge right here. And let's paint this one as well. And I would like to add some darker greens. So while it's still wet, I'm just gonna dab in perylene green here and there. Oh, look at this. Interesting leaves. And we have that dab. Dabbed in, taking clean brush and just smudge. And beautiful. I think I'm gonna let this dry now. So the beets are dry now, and I look at it and I feel it has a good amount of all the values. We have lightest, we have darkest, we have highlights, we have shadows. I'm just gonna start adding a few details. For the roots. I'm gonna start adding those tiny roots that coming out of the main one, like they're almost like hair looking, like tiny pieces going. So I'm using my liner brush and just gonna be varying that purple color with indigo. And don't overwork it. And just do it randomly, like on one side, on the other. And super fast. Some like curvier, longer. Okay, I need more of that violet color. And I'm just gonna be dabbing in some. Okay, now I'm gonna leave it. And I would like to splatter a little more for that texture on the beads. So here's my number. I'm using same color. That violet from Daniel Smith. Splatter, splatter, wash it, and smudge. I love that texture. And now what I told you guys earlier, I'm gonna be doing that with greens to balance off my greenery at the top. I'm gonna transfer that green right here on the left. Splatter, splatter, dab it off, and just give that smear around to complement that beautiful purple. Look at that. Look how gorgeous it looks now. I can lift some with paper towel, maybe splatter a tiny bit right here. I just instantly balanced off my entire composition with colors and even shapes. What I'm gonna do now, just gonna take my number 4, go with indigo, go with that violet, dab it off, paper towel, and add a few lines in the leaves. Some curvy, shorter, the veins, the leaves on the beets have beautiful veins. So you can do it with your liner brush. You can do it with any brush that has very fine points. I'm just gonna, let's try the liner brush. So at the base, it's darker, so I'm just dabbing in a little bit of that darker purple. And maybe a couple of more veins, but I don't want to overwork it. I would like to keep it loose. And I love the leaves. All I would like to do, just take white gouache and give that tiny highlight on the left. So you see it separates from the bead on the left, and just maybe add a few lines to just add that interest. Oh, you see the instant highlight? I love it. I go on the leaves, on the root, and the last thing I would like to do is just add some white splatters for that beautiful textures, extra textures. This brush is too big. I'm gonna use number 8 and white gouache. Take another brush and just tap it off against that brush. Oh, how gorgeous. I love it. And I can clean my brush and add more interest with just dabbing off. And some of those droplets I'm gonna just smudge. And this is it. It looks great. I don't want to overwork it. I'll show you right now all the details. So I'm gonna sign my name, my initials somewhere here. VL. Let's remove that tape. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I try to keep it simple, keep it loose, don't overwork it. And remember to stop. I'll show you in a second all the details. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in my next video.